Day 77. So today I'm going to say 4 words and maybe, talk about them a little bit. And I want you to really reflect. I really want you to tune in as to what those words mean to you and how much of what I say resonates with you versus doesn't. And we're just going to leave it at that. The first word is surrender. Even the most majestic mountain surrenders to the earth during an earthquake. The grandest forest surrenders to fire because out of that fire it knows that new life will come. How much do you surrender? Do you believe that the strongest individual is the one that is willing to surrender the most? Gratitude. There's a lot of talk a lot of times about gratitude. But do you live your life where you're grateful for it and everything in it? Do you understand that being grateful for the worst thing that's happening to you in your life might be the approach to breaking through? Do you know that sometimes the biggest opportunities come in the form of the worst disasters? How do you approach your gratitude? Love. The only law is that of love. That was one of the first things that was presented to me that really kind of struck me, and it stayed throughout my whole life, and I became, it really entered my life. I think I was 17, and I latched onto it, and it's one of those defining moments that you could go left or right. And I guess I took the left turn at Albuquerque, and I ended up in a different spot, and now I think I'm playing some catch up than had I listened to that message. So wherever you are in your life right now, I'm giving you that message, and maybe you'll hear it. So the only law really is love. Everything in the universe is love. Energy is love. There's no such thing as hate. There's no such thing as the opposite of love. Hate is just a different version or the absence of love. I'm just going to leave that word because it has so many connotations and so many other perceptions and stuff around it. We're just going to leave it at what I said. And then the last word, we actually talked about yesterday, joy. Imagine from the moment you were born that every action, every day of your life, every moment was headed in a direction that only kept you in the most joyful. And it's like the joy we talked about, that full, that at all levels of your being, at all levels of your expression, at all levels of your interaction with people in the world around you, just absolute joy. What would that look like? So put yourself where you are today, right now, as you're listening to this video, and compare your life to those words. Do they resonate? Do they make you feel more empowered? Do they make you feel that you can step, into a greater expression? Do they make you feel alive? Or do they not resonate? And do they cause stories or bad words to come out of your mouth, or attitudes, or negative energy? Do they cause you to cry and feel sadness? What's the emotion around those words? And now, take a step back in your perception. So from being here and being in your body, pull yourself back. Try to visualize that you're back behind you on one of the sides or in front of you, wherever it feels right for you. And then imagine, as that observer, looking at yourself. What would it look like with those 4 words? And what would you want for that person to experience with those 4 words? And try to move yourself going forward today through with those words. Try to execute it like you want it to feel as that observer. And the last thing I want to leave you with on a visual is imagine your family in that context and only living through that context. Imagine your company. Imagine the company you work with. The bigger sphere of influence of people you know. Your state. The country you live in. The world. Imagine if the whole world and every person on it, from the moment they were born, lived in absolute surrender, were grateful for every moment that existed, and didn't label that moment, just were grateful that that was there. Expressed love in it being the only law, and were completely and utterly joyful. Where would humanity be? I'll just leave it at that. Have a good day. Thank you.